What's up everybody, it's your name and we are back with another video. This time we're in Vietnam, baby. I'm so hyped to be here, the energy is unreal, the people are amazing, and the food, oh man, the food is next level. We're talking about crazy adventures, delicious food, and experiences you won't find anywhere else. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications because you don't want to miss any of the craziness we're about to get into. We're talking about exploring hidden gems, trying exotic foods, and maybe even getting chased by a water buffalo. Okay, maybe not the last one, but you get the idea. Let's get this adventure started. Alright guys, buckle up because we're about to experience something truly unique. The floating markets of the Mekong Delta. Imagine this, hundreds of boats, all jammed packed with colorful fruits, veggies, spices, you name it, all bobbing up and down on the water. It's like a city on water and it's absolutely insane. We hopped on a little wooden boat and let me tell you, navigating through this chaos was an experience in itself. Boats were coming at us from every direction. Vendors were shouting out their best deals, the smell of fresh fruit and spices filled the air. It was sensory overload in the best way possible. We're talking mountains of dragon fruit, pineapples bigger than my head, and these little coconuts that they crack open right in front of you. And the best part? You can buy anything you want right from the boat. It's like a drive-through on water, except way cooler. We met this one lady. She must have been in her 70s, and she was running her entire fruit stand solo. She had this energy, this zest for life that was just contagious. She even let me try my hand at paddling the boat, which, let me tell you, is way harder than it looks. We spent hours just wandering through the market, trying different fruits, haggling for souvenirs, and soaking up the atmosphere. It's a side of Vietnam you won't find in the guidebooks, and it's an experience I'll never forget. It's not just about the shopping though, it's about the people. Everyone was so friendly, so welcoming, and they were genuinely excited to share their culture with us. This is what travel is all about. Oh, and did I mention the food? We had this incredible bowl of pho right there on the boat, and it was hands down the best pho I've ever had. The broth was so flavorful, the noodles were perfectly cooked, and the meat was so tender. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. If you ever find yourselves in Vietnam, the Mekong Delta is a must-see. It's a side of Vietnam you won't find in the guidebooks, and it's an experience I'll never forget. Trust me, you won't regret it. Alright guys, next stop on our Vietnamese adventure is Hoi An, and let me tell you, this place is straight out of a fairy tale. We're talking ancient temples, colorful houses, silk lanterns strung across every street, and this incredible energy that just sucks you in. As soon as we stepped foot in Hoi An, it felt like we were transported back in time. The streets were bustling with people, but not in a chaotic way. It felt more like a dance, everyone moving to their own rhythm. We spent the day getting lost in the maze of narrow streets, popping into little shops selling handmade crafts, and just soaking up the atmosphere. One of the coolest things about Hoi An is that they have these tailors everywhere who can make you custom clothes in like 24 hours. So naturally, we had to get suited up. We found this one tailor shop tucked away down a little alleyway, and the lady who owned it was so sweet. She helped us pick out fabrics, took our measurements, and boom. The next day we were rocking custom-made outfits. I felt like I was in a movie montage or something. But the real magic of Hoi An comes out at night. As the sun starts to set, the entire town lights up with these colorful silk lanterns, and it's honestly one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's like walking through a sea of twinkling lights, and you can't help but feel this sense of wonder and awe. We grabbed some delicious street food, these little rice paper rolls filled with veggies and shrimp, and just wandered through the streets, taking in the sights and sounds. There was live music playing, people were laughing and chatting, and the whole atmosphere was just electric. Hoi An is definitely a place where you could spend weeks just exploring and soaking it all in. It's a place where history and culture collide, and it's a must-see for anyone traveling to Vietnam. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Okay guys, get ready to have your minds blown because we're about to embark on a journey to one of the most beautiful places on earth, Ha Long Bay. Picture this, emerald green water as far as the eye can see, thousands of towering limestone islands jutting out of the water, hidden caves, secret lagoons. It's like something out of a fantasy movie. We hopped on a traditional Vietnamese junk boat, basically a big old wooden boat with sails, and set off into the bay. And let me tell you, the views were absolutely breathtaking. It's one of those places where you just have to keep reminding yourself that it's real, that someone didn't just paint this scenery on a giant canvas. We spent the day cruising through the bay, kayaking through hidden caves, swimming in secluded lagoons and just soaking up the incredible natural beauty. It was like being transported to another planet, a planet where the water is crystal clear, the air is fresh, and the only sounds you hear are the gentle lapping of water against the boat and the occasional bird call. One of the coolest things we did was visit this floating fishing village. These people live their entire lives on the water, in these little houses built on stilts. They have their own schools, their own shops, even their own floating basketball court. It was amazing to see how they've adapted to this unique way of life. We even got to try our hand at squid fishing. Let's just say I'm not cut out for the fisherman life. But hey, at least we tried, right? As the sun started to set, casting a golden glow over the entire bay, we all just sat there on the deck of the boat, speechless. It was one of those moments where you realize how small you are in the grand scheme of things and how much beauty there is in the world. Ha Long Bay is more than just a pretty place. It's a reminder of the power and majesty of nature. It's a place that will stay with you long after you've left, and it's an absolute must-see for anyone visiting Vietnam. Alright guys, get ready for a heavy one because today we're diving into Vietnam's history at the Cu Chi tunnels. Now these aren't your average tunnels, we're talking about a complex network of underground tunnels that stretch for over 150 miles. These tunnels were used by the Viet Cong soldiers during the Vietnam War, and let me tell you, it was an eye-opening experience. We were lucky enough to have a guide who was actually a Viet Cong soldier during the war, and hearing him talk about his experiences, about the conditions they endured down in those tunnels, it was incredibly humbling. These tunnels were more than just hiding spots. They were entire underground cities. We're talking living quarters, kitchens, hospitals, even schools, all hidden beneath the ground. It's hard to imagine the resilience and determination it must have taken to survive down there for days, weeks, even months at a time. Crawling through the tunnels was an experience in itself. These tunnels are narrow, claustrophobic, and pitch black inside. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely freaking out a little bit. But then I thought about what the soldiers went through, and it put things into perspective. We even got to see some of the booby traps that were used during the war. Let's just say, I'm glad I wasn't on the receiving end of those. It's crazy to think about the ingenuity and resourcefulness that went into creating these traps. Visiting the Cu Chi tunnels was a sobering experience, but it's so important to learn about these historical events and to pay our respects to those who fought and died in the war. It's a reminder of the human cost of conflict, and it's something we should never forget. It's not the most uplifting experience, but it's a necessary one. It gives you a whole new appreciation for the resilience of the human spirit and the sacrifices made in the name of freedom. Alright guys, it's time to talk about the good stuff, Vietnamese food, specifically Vietnamese street food. And let me tell you, this is not your average street meat, we're talking about flavor explosions in every bite. From the moment we landed in Vietnam, I knew I was in for a culinary adventure. First up, we gotta talk about pho. This is like the national dish of Vietnam, and for good reason. It's a delicious noodle soup, usually with beef or chicken, and the broth is out of this world. We're talking simmered for hours, packed with flavor, the kind of broth that warms you up from the inside out. Then there's banh mi, which is basically a Vietnamese sandwich, but so much better than any sandwich you've ever had. Imagine a crispy baguette filled with savory meats, pickled veggies, fresh cilantro, and the spicy mayo that will blow your mind. It's the perfect blend of textures and flavors, and it's seriously addictive. But it's not just about the pho and banh mi. We're talking fresh spring rolls, crispy pancakes, savory crepes, all sorts of grilled meats and seafood, and let's not forget about the coffee. Vietnamese coffee is strong, sweet, and will definitely wake you up in the morning. One of my favorite things about Vietnamese food is that it's all about fresh, flavorful ingredients. They use a lot of herbs, spices, and vegetables, so the food is not only delicious but it's also super healthy. We spent our entire trip eating our way through Vietnam, and I don't regret a single bite. From street food stalls to fancy restaurants, the food scene in Vietnam is incredible, and it's definitely one of the highlights of the country. So if you're planning a trip to Vietnam, come hungry, my friends. Your taste buds will thank you. And that's a wrap on our Vietnamese adventure. This country stole my heart, from the bustling streets of Hanoi to the serene beauty of Ha Long Bay. We explored ancient temples, haggled at floating markets, ate our weight in delicious food, and made memories that will last a lifetime. Vietnam, you were incredible. A huge thank you to everyone who made this trip so special. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more travel adventures. Until next time, peace out. peace,